Hello from gardening at Douentza here in Ireland, and hello from my greenhouse. And I have a very exciting video for you today. I am going to unbox the most exciting plant I've ever bought, perhaps the biggest. Yeah, something very, very special that I wanted to get my hands on for a while. So, okay, hang on to your hats. We are going to unbox this fantastic, wonderful caudex plant. It's a big one, it's a beauty, it's fabulous, it's for the proper connoisseur, and it's all mine. Let's do it! I am sure you're on the edge of your seat by now trying to guess what plant I have gotten my hands on, and I can really assure you that I was on the edge of my seat waiting for this fabulous, fabulous beauty to arrive. And it came from a nursery in the Netherlands, and it came in a very, very big box. And I was very happy when the box arrived. Took this photo in front of the house. So excited to open this. But now I have a confession to make, and the confession is that I managed somehow to delete all the unboxing footage, so I have none to show you. So what I'm going to do here is to make a boxing reconstruction. Bear with me. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is to take a little peek into the greenhouse where this fantastic beauty is all waiting for us to unbox it. And she is already in a pot, but we are going to reveal her. I say she, but it may be a he, and that's because this plant is dioecious, which means that individual plants can be either male or female. So I am going to have to wait until my plant flowers before I'll be able to tell whether it's male or female. I guess you're getting some hints from this now, because you already know this is the caudex plant, and now you know it's dioecious. So I suppose we might consider taking this box off and showing you what is underneath. Now, hold on. This is going to be something really special. Just look. Isn't this absolutely amazing? This is an Ibervillea, which is a caudex plant that grows in the deserts in Texas or in Mexico. And over the course of its evolution, it has developed this enormous caudex structure to hold water and help it survive in times of drought. And that's in essence what caudex plants are all about. It's an absolute beauty. I don't know how old this plant is, 20 years anyway, but it's just fabulous. Now this plant is actually dormant at the moment. It is a climber, so it will send up shoots from the top, which will climb up and up and up and become a great big mess in the greenhouse, but a mess I'm very willing to embrace. And after doing its climbing and doing its flowering, if the plant is pollinated, it would produce berries. Now mine, of course, because I only have one, won't ever get berries, but I will get the trailers and hopefully the flowers, and then I'll be able to tell whether it's a male or a female. And then come the end of the summer, this plant will go dormant, and I will just store it dry over winter. Isn't it just fabulous? I love the big curvy structure. It's so sexy, it's really sexy. And Yeah, it's wonderful to have such a large specimen in my collection. I was very lucky to find a nursery that was selling something like this, and I hope that you will agree she is absolutely gorgeous. So, my heart flutters when I think of this plant. I guess it's time to finish this section of the video and show you how I potted up Jessie, because this plant has a name now. This is Jessie, a name that encompasses both male and female, because of course I don't know which this plant is going to be. So I'm going to insert now the video bits that show you how I potted up this beauty, and I hope that you will check back to see how she grows and flourishes, hopefully, in my greenhouse environment. And here we have a very, very big pot. Now, there are certain problems with a plant this size. It needs to be in a shallow dish, and it needs something that gives it an inch space all the way around. But as you can see, it's wider than it is deep. So I've had to go for this pot, which means it's going to have a lot of space on either side. And my husband has just spent a good while drilling extra holes in the pot. So it came originally with that one here in the middle, and he's put all those extra ones in there because we want perfect drainage for Jessie. By the way, we've decided to call this plant, this caudex plant, Jessie. It's a good name. It could be a boy, it could be for a boy, it could be for a girl. And Jessie, Wild West, all that kind of thing. I think it fits. The first thing I'm going to do is to fill a good bit of this pot with polystyrene. Now, polystyrene has the advantage of being a very light substance, and you have to bear in mind that this plant and this pot are extremely heavy, and I do want to be able to move it around, so we need lightness. This polystyrene came in the same box as the plant, so in terms of protection of the environment, it is very important to reuse non-biodegradable products like polystyrene. So for my mix, I'm going to use 1 part organic and 2 parts inorganic. And the organic I'm using is just a compost. So I guess I'll start off by putting 2 pots worth of compost in here. There's 2. And 6 of the perlite. Now, in terms of inorganic, you can use a variety of things. You can use horticultural grit, you can use perlite, vermiculite, pumice. I'm going for perlite because it's lighter. And also in terms of the mix, I've heard that 50-50 works well, but I'm going with the 1 organic to 2 inorganic. We put in some blood, fish and bone just to give the plant feed and give the whole thing a really good mix. Now, I actually put a bit more organic in here than I said, so I guess it was about 1.5 parts organic to 2 parts inorganic. And now I am going to take this and start putting it in here. And the reason why I decided on a little bit more organic is that it just looked too inorganic to me. And well, some people are saying that the Ibervillea needs a bit more moisture, so. Now we're only going to fill this up to 1 inch below the surface. And I'm just pressing down to try and make sure that the gaps between the polystyrene have filled in as best they can. And now, for the moment of truth, we are going to maneuver Jessie into her new home. And I'm just tipping her because, of course, the plant, the caudex, needs to be this way. And I'm going to have to bury it a little bit. And of course, it's a whole question of how much to bury it and how much to leave proud of the surface. The more the better. I'm going to just turn her around here, just so you can see her a bit better, and making sure the important thing is to have at least even distance on these two sides of her, because, well, she's going to expand. Okay, doesn't she look happy? Okay, I actually think that the underneath of the plant, which I'll show you now because it's soon to disappear, is in many ways more interesting than the top, because it's got all these curves and bumps and things that have taken decades to establish. I'm just pressing the plant down in the mix. I go around the other side now. And you see my Jessie she's a bit lopsided, you know, so there's a kind of arm here that's higher than the rest. So there's a decision, do I go down like this or I do up like this? And I think I'm going to put her like this. And I think I probably have enough actually buried underneath the compost now. So what I'll do is press it firmly around. Now, as you can see, Jessie has a short leg here. It's a feature. We love it. We love everything about her, including her scars and weathering that she has acquired over the years. It's part of her character. But this short leg here is going to make her a bit unstable, because what may happen is, especially when I move the plant, that it'll tip like that. And if the plant is making new roots, then they may tear. So what I'm going to do is take this stone line here and just kind of put it in here to support Jessie's leg in a way that she is not, well, so that she's secure in her pot. And okay, that doesn't look nice, but as soon as the plant has made roots and is quite firm in the pot, then I will remove it. Just a little word about Jessie's crown, which is this bit here, and it is indeed softer than the rest of the plant, which I found very strange, and corky. So you can see here I was slightly worried and just kind of chipped a bit away, but I've since found advice that this is the way it's supposed to be and I should leave it be. So this is the growing point, and it's supposed to be like that, much softer than the rest of the plant. So I'm going to leave it alone. No, onto the thingy there. Whoa! Goodness, Jessie is really heavy, but I decided to bring her here into the greenhouse before I watered and put grit on top of her because she's heavy enough. Okay, so the next step now is to water Jessie, and I'm just firming around her once again because she was moved, and that may have loosened her a little bit. And it's supposed to be a small amount of water that I give her. Just a quarter litre can hardly be enough. How can that be enough for a big plant like this? Okay, so that's gone on, and look how her crevices is kind of pooling in here. I will take that out because we do not want that. And now I'm going to place grit around her, and this is horticultural grit, so small pieces, not building grit or stuff that's used in construction, because this is supposed to be pH neutral, and it's very important for succulents to use this because it stops the neck of the plant from rotting, just keeps moisture away from it. And of course this is very heavy stuff, so I wanted to make sure that she was in position before I started putting a whole load of stone around her. And this does a good job of covering up the perlite, which is never pretty. Okay, so need to keep this in full sun, and I guess just give it a little bit of water every now and again, and hopefully she will burst into growth, new growth at the top. And actually she has little growths there already, which is great, and make roots, and then just go from strength to strength and end up twice the size she is. Jessie is a fine figure of a plant, but some disrespectful members of my family have made an analogy with the radio that was powered from a potato, and they suggested that Jessie could run the heat in the greenhouse over winter. Some people. And here we have certainly the top plant in my caudex collection, my small caudex collection, if not the top plant in the greenhouse. Oh dear, poor Robinson Crusoe's palm has been ousted from its position of current favourite plant. I hope you liked this video in which I got this amazing, beautiful plant, which I'm so delighted with. And if so, give it a thumbs up, and do check back on my greenhouse videos to see how this plant does for me longer term. In the meantime, it remains for me to thank you for watching and to say that I will see you hopefully on the next video. Bye!